Hello, my name is Edward Rosinski, and I welcome you to my stage movement class. Thanks to modern technology, I now have the opportunity to teach students outside of the classroom. So, I am pleased to be your video instructor. I will probably never have a chance to meet most of you personally, but I hope to see you soon in a movie or on TV or on stage. And when you are interviewed by the press, please don't forget to mention that your stage movement teacher was Professor Rosinski. As you all know, an online course is not a novelty. Every day, students all over the world learn the fundamentals in many different fields online. But is it possible to utilize the internet to educate yourself in creative professions, like, for instance, acting? Well, I think it's possible, and we are giving you the opportunity to educate your body and your mind through our stage movement video instructor. I'm sure you are familiar with numerous video fitness programs. Each of them would offer you a set of exercises to enhance your flexibility, to build up your muscles, or to improve your cardiovascular system. There's nothing wrong with these fitness programs. In fact, our program will probably remind you of them, but with the help of this video instructor, we want to develop a performing artist. So obviously, we must offer something more specific than just physical exercises. As you know, physical fitness videos repeatedly demonstrate the exercises and ask you to execute them along with the instructor. Well, you will find our video instructor to be much different. But again, our goal is different. We set out to develop your body and mind for the creative work on stage, in the movies, and on television. You are about to begin participating in an extensive and challenging but exciting program that would develop in you a string of psychophysical qualities, the abilities without which it's impossible for a modern theater artist to become successful. There are several methods and techniques known to us that claim they can do the job. I have personally studied these programs and can assure you that none of them are capable to offering such a diversity of exercises that would improve a variety of abilities as the program presented to you in this stage movement video instruction course. We strongly believe that physical training of an actor must be directly connected with his acting training. It is no secret that there are many different acting methods. Each of them is based on the experiences of one or several great acting teachers. Among them, there is one yet undisputed but grossly mistranslated and misinterpreted method, and it is universally known as Stanislavski system of actor training. Developed by Russian actor, director, pedagogue Konstantin Stanislavski about 100 years ago, this method proved to be a revelation of a genius whose works are still studied and debated by scholars and practitioners all over the globe. In fact, recent findings convince us that Stanislavski's system is alive and kicking. Along with this, there comes a new interest in Stanislavski's smart teaching. This came like music to my ears because I was raised on Mr. Stanislavski's ideas, and some of my teachers, in fact, had been pupils of the great theater reformer themselves. We all know, however, that no system or method can be absolute. New ideas, new inspirations bring unique solutions and surprising results. But sometimes, as they say, all new is just long forgotten old. That is why now and then I find some innovations that take me back to my teacher, Mr. Stanislavski. And so, it is not surprising that the method of teaching stage movement to actors that I offer you in this video instructor program is strongly connected and without a doubt based on the Stanislavski system as we know and practice it. And the first and foremost principle of our method regarding a human motion is to perform a task not by means of demonstration, but from a verbal description of the movement. Although in theaters everywhere, demonstration by the directors of beats and even scenes is still a common practice, this is an ancient practice which Stanislavski strongly criticized more than 100 years ago. His criticism makes a lot of sense, because once a physical action or a reaction is demonstrated by someone, it can be reproduced by another person with some level of success. But it would be almost impossible to make this action or reaction your own, individual. The explanation is very simple. In any imitating process, one important thing is missing, and it is your personal imagination. In the program that you are about to begin, the majority of exercises are to be performed by you from my verbal description. What really makes it possible is the fact that all the components of these exercises are regular everyday movements. Such movements are familiar to everyone since childhood and thus not very difficult to explain and to perform. Nevertheless, it will take you some time to get used to this way of instruction, because your previous experiences suggest that demonstration is the fastest method of learning a movement. Interesting that very often in the beginning, students ask me, why don't you show us what do you mean? Or, we can do it much faster this way. Well, my goal is a lot different. I don't want you to pick up the exercise quickly. I want you to understand the task first, then create a picture of the movements in your mind, and then interpret the task the way you understood. Remember also, in the effort to develop your psychophysical qualities, we are in no hurry. In order to bring your abilities, habits, and skills to the level of professional performer, you must work hard and be consistent. You have to repeat exercises many times until the results would match the task and you feel comfortable and ready to move to a new, more complex stage in exercising. As the method of training that I offer you in some ways is uncommon, I anticipate inquiries and perhaps even some confusion at the beginning. To avoid all this, I am going to demonstrate to you a clip consisting of my work with students in a class situation. Since I have taught this subject for the last 40 years, the components of the clip are from different times and depict different groups of students. I just want you to get an idea of the type of exercises you are about to begin performing and how these exercises look like when presented by students. Included in this clip are also some exercises that the students execute being conducted by my video instructor. Exercise for your right arm. First movement, straight forward. Second movement, sideways. Third movement, straight forward. Fourth movement, down. Altogether, 4 movements. Ready? Go! backwards.
2 times 3 is 6. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet.
Ready? And. I trust now you have a better idea of what kind of program is in store for you. Stanislavski always repeated that physical training must be an everyday event because, and I quote, human muscles for their progress demand a systematic, persistent, and prolonged exercising. I'm not trying to convince you that demonstration is strictly prohibited. In fact, when dealing with stylized movements, demonstration is unavoidable. For instance, any form of period movement, dance, or mime is impossible to learn without a display. But in this program, most of the exercises are based on simple movements familiar to you, so we find it natural to describe these movements in words and to expect you to perform it correctly. Before we begin exercising, I would like to encourage you to be alert at all times in my video class and not to miss any detail of my descriptions and tasks. You see, when I have live listeners, I can detect confusion. But when you're looking at the screen and not in my eyes, I have to rely on your full attention. Naturally, you can rewind the tape and listen to the same spot again. But this would break the tempo rhythm of the lesson, which is a very important feature of my program. Subliminally, it teaches you to feel the tempo rhythm of a scene or an entire play. So, being focused in my class will serve two objectives: to understand the instruction in order to execute it correctly, and to train your concentration, one of the most important habits for an actor. As a result of this program and others, you must learn how to keep your concentration on the stage intentionally for as long as you want. Another peculiarity about teaching students by means of video instruction is the fact that I can't give you immediate feedback. Here again, for best efficiency of this program, I have to rely on your consciousness and your self-evaluation. I would strongly suggest, if possible, practicing this course with a small group or even with one partner. After all, theater is a collective art in many instances, it is better to work together. Besides, one of you, in turn, can take the role of captain and reflect on the performance of the rest of you. Such a method would help you to learn how to deliver and how to accept a constructive criticism, a quality that is very important when working as a group in future. Fortunately, my experience allows me to make critical remarks even without seeing you. There are many common errors that can be avoided if the instructor constantly points them out. Another means to make your exercising significant is to invite viewers to the class. They can be your friends, relatives, or classmates, but their role would be to just observe a class without giving you immediate feedback. I invite guests to my live classes all the time. This makes the student feel like a live performance and raises the level of your awareness. And definitely invite an audience for your final class. I would suggest arranging this show class so that your acting teacher or other teachers will be present. For your benefit, I would expect you to perform all the exercises with the best of your ability. It is only natural for humans to lessen the effort when it comes to physical activity. Only with a clear understanding of a purpose of physical exercising and a strong goal to overcome personal imperfections can one seriously plunge into this program. I can help you to accomplish this, but a lot depends on you, and only you. Mr. Stanislavski once said, "First discover, and then discipline yourself." These words encouraged me to create this video instruction program. My argument is, if an aspiring actor can teach him or herself, how much more sufficient that would be if I help as dance, stage combat, mime, and acting. If you seriously and sincerely listen and obey all the instructions of this program, you will soon find yourself learning faster and performing more confidently and gracefully any new movement pattern and combination. You will develop many crucial faculties, habits, and skills for acting profession, and you will find yourself able to do things that others are simply unable to complete. One more thing, however, you have to stretch this course for a period of 3 to 4 months. That means you have to take my classes no more than 2 or 3 times a week. It is advisable to have them once or twice during a single class. I would offer you some helpful information regarding the acting profession or Stanislavski method. But the major reason for such a detour would be methodological. That is, to give you several moments to catch a breath or to change the subject and give your mind a break. So, good luck with your stage movement video instructor